Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament Bracket Stage Action. We've got a very good opening round match today between two very fine players looking to advance to the round of 16. On our left, we have Glutamic Acid, who finished 4-2 in Group C, clarisdatcom, who finished 4-2 in Group I. So we should have a very interesting and even match today between two very good players. I'm Pro A007, very happy to be joining you here today. And joining me on the mic is the top seed and the door prize for the winner of today's fine match, GamerCal.
Hello. How is everyone today? Yeah, we should have a really good game here, to be honest. Obviously, haven't played Claris recently. I know full well what he is capable of. And Glutamic has surprised me a little bit as well, of just seeing how polished a lot of the stuff was during these things.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many tough groups within this that 4-2 is still such a huge achievement for this, really. So don't expect that we're going to have any sort of poor racing going on here. These guys are top quality, so...
Yeah. Glutamic Acid took Mitch Flower Power to the wire in one of his two group play matches. Yeah, and Claris, this is his third straight time in the brackets. He is yet to get out of the second round today, but we'll see if he can make some progress here. So we are playing under...
Yeah, we've got bracket flag stuff going on here. So think Tony Group 2 from the last time. We've got shuffled enemy worlds, we've got shuffled stages, we've got all of the fort shuffle stuff, the fun that we had before. But now we have a little bit of a hard mode going in here because we do not have the end card to get resources from, and the hammers have reverted to their vanilla behavior, so we cannot break locks anymore either. You're gonna have to play more stages with this, so more stages to play on average and fewer items to do it with. So
Right. Yeah, we've taken off a couple of the safeties, force our runners to really kind of test their mettle, especially in these early world stages where they can really have the dial turned on.
So we have our countdown set now, and the race is going to begin pretty shortly. So I suppose if people want to guess what the world is, you've not got too long to do it for what we start with, but I don't know. I'm just curious to see how this plays out.
I'll say World 5 leads off.
Did twice in my practices earlier, so...
Runners have been given the green light. Here we go. This is World 7.
Okay, so apart from just seeing all the pipes at the beginning here, one of the early things to look out for in World 7 is the presence of that 10 card over there. That is not normally here. There's normally only 9 stages in World 7, but the presence of a 10 card shows there's only 1 fort in this world. So we're going to have to find a way to that fort and basically just clear it as quick as we can.
Glutamic Acid has found Glutamic Acid has found the correct location for the fort. Now he's just got to get there, and first he's got to get through Piranha stage. And he got...
Yeesh. Yeah, just a little bit too close to the munches there. It's a bit of feet nipping to go with. So it looks like he's going to go for an item of his own. Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, Claris got a frog suit.
Oh. Oof, that's a bit double-edged. You don't necessarily want to use that, but at the same time, you also don't want to die. So having the hammer suit now is great, but yeah, you're going to have to just use it, and so you can't really save it as a Bowser weapon here.
Right. Claris is going... He's using the pause buffer strats to manipulate those munchers.
Well done.
So,
Oh, nice cloud too.
Clouds have a little more value here in bracket stages. Hammers don't break locks.
Oh, we have some swag coming out here straight away too. I love it. Nice clip from Glutamic there.
Ooh,
oh, Claris, no.
Yeah, he hit the cannon and it bumped him right into that was unfortunate. Glutamic trying to get a hammer kill on Boom Boom does it.
It's deceptively difficult to do that. It's one thing I might need to look at personally is seeing how to actually do that hammer kill in various rooms, because it's like some of them you can just wait until you get to the point where you stop moving and then you shoot the hammer as soon as the fight starts. Yeah, you can't slide with a hammer suit, by the way. Spoilers. Yeah, but other times it's like that doesn't work. So it's like when you're dropping in on those ones. So it's just like, how do I do the kills properly here? So we see 6-7 come up.
Yeah, it is kind of a practice thing. So Glutamic is going to try and hold on to this hammer suit as long as possible. Probably not the whole way through, but certainly for at least a few more stages. He's got a slight lead now on Claris. Claris not going star.
Yeah, nothing but until the final one, nothing but stars there.
Nice presence of mind to pick that up from Claris. Some breathing room. And then we have our hand stage.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, well done, Claris. Yeah, it's possible to recover that, but it is not easy to do.
No, so we'll find out what item is here, and it's a hammer. So if they find the other hand stages during their journey, they will get 2 more hammers, up to 2 more hammers. And while hammers' value is somewhat limited compared to earlier flag sets, they still are useful in 4 worlds. Worlds 2, 3, 4, and 6. Uh-oh, Claris.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay, Claris gets...
Oh, unfortunate clip from Glutamic there. Not able to get P-Speed. Oh, not able to keep the hammer seed either. Not able to keep P-Speed because of... generate P-Speed because of clipping the block at the start. So there was just no momentum.
So...
Only 2 hits, though. Oh no, Claris, no!
Glutamic is out at 433. Claris, unfortunately, is going to have to try again. And he's going to go and take that item. Safe. Oh, and he gets another frog suit. So, the game is telling him
what
something.
What did you do to this seed?
Tell ya.
Every time you have more than 1 frog suit in the seed, you've got to blame Mustard. That's the rules.
Yeah, pretty much. Claris, ooh. Mistimed that. So we got a 2-fort world 1, and this is world 2 fort. So it's possible that this is the correct route. Either way, he's got to play it, so it's good to just do it right away.
Right. Yeah. World 1's an interesting case in brackets because oftentimes there's a vanilla lock, so you can't actually go down like the players are able to this time. And that usually means you've got to play at least 2 extra levels, but oftentimes you've got to do the whole vanilla route. So, whereas in group stages, if you took a hammer in like they would have from World 1 here, you just hammer the lock and it's fine, 3 levels skipped. Can't really do that in this version, so...
Yeah. And it does create the bridge, so we got a nice, easy World 1 with 1-5 as gatekeeper now to the Hammer Brother.
So there is a strong possibility that the other fort in this world is 1 fort, because the logic, since there's a way that you can not break a lock by defeating that fort, the logic will actually stop you from being forced to clear it. So because there's a lock that isn't on the direct path here, there's a reasonable shot that it's 1 fort. Doesn't have to be, but it's a good guess to keep in mind that maybe we just won't be seeing that one this seed.
Yeah, logic assumes you're going for the item every time. So yeah, and there's another hammer, so double hammer play in World 3 could come in now.
Right, you mentioned how the hammers are useful in select worlds, but specifically for World 3, you need 2 of them in order to make it useful at all. So, yeah.
That is a little dependent on the map. If the map does not beneficial, then there's really no point in using it. But,
right. Ooh, excellent wand grab for Glutamic there. If you grab the wand off the top of the screen, then you don't actually have to fall down with it, so it saves about 4 seconds compared to being at the bottom of the screen here. So, great stuff.
If you do that, you better make sure you get it, because otherwise you extend the cutscene of Mario dropping.
Yep. The old classic, why don't we jump for the wand? It's because you fall slower than the wand does.
Right. So we got 2 forts in World 6 right off the bat. Glutamic is going to play ahead, ignore the fort for the time being. Gets 4-3.
I both agree and disagree with this. Like, it's out of the way, so you don't necessarily want to use it, especially because you have hammers to try and skip through this world. But at the same time, if this was me playing this seed, I know for a fact that it would come back to bite me. So, nice double kill there.
Yeah, it's a kind of a calculated risk. He might make his determination after he beats the fort that's kind of on the path, and gets a better look at the map. If he feels that maybe it's too much of a risk, then he might go back and play it. But for the moment, yeah, I see where he's coming from on that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Claris getting a nice kill on Larry here. Glutamic does the same thing me and Teeks do here. If we have a tail going into this stage, because of how precise the jumps are, we actually just lose it straight away, because there's a chance that your jump will be like a frame too early or so when you're trying to land and jump straight away, and so you'll flutter instead of jumping, and that will lead to death in this stage. So Glutamic taking the same thing we do. Very nice.
I usually don't really stress about it. I usually go ahead and do it. With the tail, the only thing I am cognizant of are those hammer guys causing problems. Tamic's gonna take on the hammer bro, giant bro. I see what you're saying though. Another cloud for Tamic. Are we sure I rolled this seed? This doesn't feel like a
Okay, so there's the potential that the hammer doesn't get used here if these pipes do link up to each other, as they do. So there is still one other use for a hammer in this world, but it's only to skip one stage.
Right.
So,
we got a pipe in the vanilla spot. There we go. That's more like it. 7-8. 7-8.
Piranha Rally. Yeah. Well, I thought he was a bit late there, but worked out nicely. Doing some really cute little short jumps there to misdirect where some of the fireballs are going. As something I've noticed a lot of people forget to do is, they just let the piranha plants shoot fireballs downwards all the time.
Yeah.
And that ends up causing a lot more trouble than it's worth. Like in here and in 7F2 especially.
Yeah.
If you let them jump.
7F2 is where you get a lot of mileage out of that. Claris is an Air Force.
Yeah, so Claris has not lost the tail here, and you can see gonna have to take things a fair bit more carefully. But I think that's more of a playstyle thing. If you've not learned how to do this stage, like with the fast, precise jumps, then you're not really gonna worry so much about losing the tail or accidentally falling with it. Nice jump off the Paracupa for Glutamic there in 2-2. It's always fun seeing strats that you don't get to see every day in Rando, stuff like that, because that enemy isn't usually a Paracupa in... Oh, okay. Looks like he's gotten away with it.
So far, yeah. Looks like the route's gonna bear out.
Yeah, I think the only thing we don't know at the moment is I don't think we've seen... How many 10s have we seen? Have we only seen the one at the start?
I think so. Yeah, if there's 2 10s, this is a 2 fort World 6.
Claris getting a little bit fortunate there, actually. If there was a boss bass in this level, he probably would have been eaten by that. The movement there. Because the boss bass would just spawn in the sky. And yeah, just nom him straight away. So speaking on hand stages over here. Pretty good run through the Cheap stage.
Yeah, so that's 2 hammers now for Glutamic off the hand. Gonna obviously check the pipe and get an idea of where it stands after taking on our first beta stage. 1.5 beta, one of 9 lost levels in the game. Claris has actually found another one. Our newest beta stage 1.
Gone. Yeah, it's like 1.6, isn't it?
This is 1.6 beta, yeah.
He doesn't know. There's actually 2 clouds off screen that you can jump on to skip over the downward bit, like the lower bit there, and avoid dealing with a lot of nasty enemies. So it's really fun. If you use a P-Wing in this stage, you can actually scroll the camera up and see there's coins and stuff up there too. It's quite detailed, to be honest.
Okay, it's a free pass. Glutamic guessed correctly on the fort, and he will be rewarded with this.
Yeah, Claris did the same thing, so I don't blame them at all. It's one of those things that I say, like, I agree with the play, I just know for me it wouldn't work out, because that's just my luck. But I do agree with it, that because it wasn't a level that was out of the way, and you could always just make a free trip to go back round. I totally understand why they did it.
It's just extra time if you are wrong, having to scroll back and forth. So that can add up. It's 5-hit Lemmy. Yikes.
There was a time where in this rando where it felt like he was either 1-hit or 5-hit, no exceptions. and sometimes that still happens.
So 1347 for Glutamic. Claris is going on. So what's our next world? Chat.
This is not a bad average so far. I tend to think for brackets, because they are a little bit longer, since you can't break locks and such, I do tend to err more along the sort of 4.5 to 5 minute average per world, so they're on pretty decent pace at the moment.
Yeah. We are playing under tourney bracket controls, so hammers don't break locks, no end card games. There's a lock right there, so...
Hammer should be really good in this world.
Yeah. He'll probably take a look at the map just to be sure, but even if it skips 1 level, he's got 3 hammers now, so I think it's fine.
Right, the only way the hammer doesn't work out here is if there's a second lock that is actually in that hammer section. I have seen it a few times before, where like you hammer down there and there's still a lock in the way, and it's like, gosh darn it, all the forts are on the other side of the world. What do I do?
Right. So Glutamic had a little trouble in the pyramid stage with the Buzzy Beetles.
A very difficult stage to optimize. Oh, nice jump there, though.
Claris, I think, was trying to go for a fire kill on Lemmy, but is not really getting a lot of help. There it is.
Whoa, that was a great final hit.
Yeah, 15-20 for Claris, who's about 1.5 minutes behind right now. Glutamic is in 3-5.
Now, do keep in mind, I think both players are holding on to at least 2 clouds here, so...
Yeah, and their value varies depending on the world. Like, for example, World 4, it's kind of mixed just because of how the map is set up. It's fairly open-ended. World 5 can be that way too sometimes.
Oh, I saw that fire flower come from the card there as well, the postcard at the end. So both players will have the option to save a Bowser weapon for the end here.
Yeah. Glutamic's in 7-3. Claris is about 2 stages. Claris is about 2 stages behind right now. Those early deaths are really been the difference. Different routing early also kind of set tone here, but Claris have to pick up the pace a little bit here and maybe make a couple of gambles with those clouds. Alright, so pipes. Oh, we got 3 forts.
Ooh.
Now it's getting interesting. Oh no, I'm sorry, we got 2 forts. Excuse me. Why am I?
Yeah, it's just one of them is required no matter what. That's the curiosity here.
Yeah. Now we'll see if this is actually correct. I mean, if it is, then hammer use validated. If not, well, yeah, you have to play 2 extra levels.
The important thing at the moment is that he still has 2 hammers for World 3, even after using one here. So it hasn't cost anything that way. Nice star pickup as well.
Start killing 6F1, get out your orbs or bros if you prefer.
And there it goes. Okay. Oh, the Glacier. Nice. So, this one has a really cool P-speed strat. You have to jump off of the item block there. But the biggest thing to watch out for here is I think Glutamate might end up seeing down here. This water is opaque, but there are enemies in it. So you can have bloopers and jumping cheeps and such. Well, case in point with the cheap there. Claris is doing a pretty good job with 7-3 here. Star chaining at the end as well to make sure that we don't have any mishaps. I like the idea. Yeah, no more hammer bursts for Glutamic going into the World 7 airship here. So this one you would like to do P-speed strats in, but if you've got the tail, not really that possible. It's fine though, it's really not like a huge deal, and you have the extra hit safety for going into your boss fight here. Oh, Claris almost getting hit by the rogue Podobo there. Alright, how many hits have we got, Morton? We got the 1. Oh, Claris has got to be careful. 4? 4 hits. Okay. That's quite a beefy dude. So Claris also going to be getting the quick kill on Boom Boom here. So normally in vanilla, the star is the second of the items, but because it's random boxes, it's not usually worth looking at the second one because it's so hard to get hold of. So you just go for the third one, and if it's a star, well, good job. If it's not, well, okay. Better luck next time. But even then, you get a power-up out of it, so it's still fine. So you see Claris also not doing P-speed strats for this stage. It's fine, you want to get a power-up if possible. We see World 4. There is a possibility to use a cloud in this world, which is unusual, but does work out this time. 8 forts, not the nicest of ones to go into here. But that's okay. So long as you don't stop in this bit, it's alright. We'll see if he can get the quick cycle, as Claris is about to actually do a hammer bow here. Okay, so this is one Glutamic did not do. We'll see if this gives a cloud or something. Nope. Star for a star. Unfortunate. Nice one cycle for Glutamic. Definitely showing his stuff here. As Claris begins the World 7 airship, also with the tail equipped, the same as how Glutamic did it. Might see him look here. Nope. Okay. Sometimes you see players look for a Fire Flower instead there, but I think Claris is totally fine having a Leaf in this situation.
Yeah, and at this point, it's really just a question of comfort. Glutamic guessed correctly on the fort. It was a pretty easy call, though. And now he's 10, trying to care of this. This stage can be tricky, especially if you get a lot of nippers, or you get a boss bass, or a cheap kind of trolling along the bottom there to, play his usual mischief.
Right, especially because Boss Bass, and I think the Cheap can as well, but Boss Bass is especially bad for it, where if you end up jumping higher than where he is off the bottom of the screen, he'll creep up a little bit, and then actually be able to nom you on the ice as well, rather than just when you're already gone. Hello!
Yeah, so we got our 4th lost level stage. This is kind of a hybrid of 7-2 and 3-9 beta.
It's also a Paragoomba Y stage, but you know.
Pretty much, yeah. He can strike at unexpected moments. Claris an 8 fort now.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw the little pullback from Glutamic at the end there. He knows there's an enemy that spawns at the end, and if that was a Paragoomba, then it would have run into the Reckless. So
yeah. So
no music box. So no way of skipping these at the moment. Ugh.
Yeah. Waiting for that hammer. Okay, finally come.
Oh, I was gonna say, what if he just never jumps? That would have been so depressing.
Claris, I think, was trying to set up a door clip, didn't get it, so he's like not gonna avoid having to do a 2-cycle there.
So I don't know if Glutamic actually has another Bowser weapon at the moment, because he's used the Fire Flower here.
Well, he's probably also hedging his bets that he'll get another one.
That's risky, though.
Could be, yeah. And then
we are in World 5 at this point. We've only got a small number of extra cards to get, and he's used 2 so far, because he got a Hammer Suit at the beginning, which he used. So,
right.
You're lucky to even see 2 Bowser weapons in a lot of these. So, oh, nice hit for Claris there.
Yeah. At what point, though, they got to start using their clouds. We've got worlds 3 and 6 left, 3 and 5 left, and it's not exactly a given that you're going to be able to use clouds in either of those worlds. So you got to start, for the sake of just using them. It's a good idea to start putting them into practical effect. Claris is actually going to play the Hammer Bro off to the side here. Interesting strat.
This seems to have been his play throughout a lot of this, though, where he did at least 1 extra. I think the other one got away, but he did 1 extra bro in World 2 that Glutamic didn't. Unfortunately, it was the same sort of star for a star situation, but...
Yeah,
he's... Go on.
I would say he's hoping to get that Hammer Suit or, a like weapon.
I think he still has the Fire Flower from Peach, though, so there is that. So in the beta level that Claris is in just now, you can actually go through just about any of these pipes, but most of them have got blocks that are stopping them from being picked up straight away. But, unfortunate. 5 up that wasn't really wanted. Oh my god. When it rains, it pours. Okay, never mind. Yeah, but if you have a tail, you can actually break into pretty much the second last pipe that's in that area, so you can avoid almost all of the enemies in that section.
So, Glutamic is going to play the tower stage, because this will lead him somewhere.
Yeah, it's the only way of going further up, so there's no real choice here.
Claris actually took the other route and got 4-5. That's kind of a Fred or a Vanilla, because this is in 4-5's location. I don't think that was the card tile, but this is 4-5 in Vanilla location. Claris gonna wait this out a little bit. Okay, so this is pretty much a straight shot. This is a good time to start using clouds.
Yep.
This is very good cloud use.
And this is also smart too, yeah. So just in case the worst happens here, he now has the safety net of not losing the clouds.
Right. Yeah, that's something you kind of... It's also one of those moves you kind of hesitate. Like, oh wait, this isn't Paradox Pipe because I went through the tower.
Yep.
So...
so Claris is going to do the flyover here, which is real cool. This is actually faster, even when you've got to build up the P-speed. That's still faster than going the other way around. Yeah.
So a good run from him. Glutamic taking care of Roy Koopa at 25.43. So a very quick World 5 for Glutamic, and Claris is going to get the same deal at 25.49 World 4th World 5 finish. So he's a little over 2 minutes behind.
Plus or minus, depending on if he uses the clouds that Glutamic has here. Because he still has them in inventory. Hasn't actually put them to use yet either, so we'll see.
Okay.
Not really much use of a double hammer setup here.
Fortunately, no. Sure, he's really wishing he could have had those clouds right now.
Oh, the number of times this has happened to me as well. You immediately get super punished for just blind clouding in the situation that you would never not blind cloud. Just, oh man. So, you may have heard stories about this stage in recent times of how we never want to see this one. That's because it's one of the only two auto-scrollers that have to still be in play. This and 5-9, most likely because of the manner of which they auto-scroll, just completely break the game if they are not scrolling. So, this one, though, as you can see, is actually not an easy stage in its own right, either. It's getting a bit swamped here.
Uh-oh. Oh, no!
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. Glutamic taking a death at about 2/3 of the way through Atlantis. This actually wouldn't be a bad place to use a frog suit or a P-Wing. So you use a P-Wing.
I would have wanted to take the frog here, if only because, like, you've got... Oh, Claris is in 7F1. He isn't using the clouds there. This is one that Glutamic skipped.
Yeah, unfortunately, no tail.
Yeah. So I timed it out actually recently. If you go into the stage big and you know where you have a tail in your inventory, you can save about 9 to 10 seconds by dying at the lava and going into your inventory. But it's just a case in brackets, is that worth it because of your much more limited inventory, right? So you've got to be much more careful with it.
And that whole idea... Oh no, Glutamic taking another death in Atlantis. Claris has got a chance here to catch up. Especially if he holds on to his clouds. Glutamic's going to use a frog suit here. I'm not sure how much that's going to help. It's not going to hurt, especially if he gets past this opening section.
He'll need to lose it as soon as he gets into the above water section, though, because frog suit on ice is just not something you want to see. Looks like Claris did use one of his clouds, but he should still have another one to skip this stage here.
He does. Although it is going to negate any possible use of the double hammer, but at the same time it really has no practical use because the pipe is in 3-3's location, and that's probably going to set the tone for everything going forward.
Right.
Okay, Glutamic is has made progress here, so he should be okay going forward. He's got 2 hits to work with, if nothing else. But
the only saving grace with this stage is there are 2 boxes for potential power-ups, but then both can be stars, so you know.
Right, and both can be tricky to get, depending on how things start.
Right, because if the first one is a fire flower, when it hits the top of the screen, that fire flower immediately despawns, so it's actually hard to pick up.
Right. Now we get to find out 4F1. Claris sees the horrible news.
He's actually playing it.
I don't think he has a cloud. I didn't see one in his inventory.
Really? Where did he use the other one then?
Nonetheless, he has reduced his deficit by quite a bit. But he is still about a stage and a half behind at this point. So, Glutamic taking care of business in 4F1.
I wonder if Claris is still looking at double hammer anyway.
He might be, but again, there's really no practical benefit at this stage, however it sets up. So 3-7 with Boss Bass. Claris is in trouble here. He's careful. Oh no!
Oh no! This is a disaster of a stage right now.
Oh, he does have a cloud.
Yeah.
He's going for it.
Now this is a risk for the ages. Although, that fort didn't actually do anything useful anyway. If we saw on Claris's side, the lock that got broken is actually the one that's blocking the Toad House there. Ooh, free fort. Ooh. So, I'm pretty confident in saying that the pipe is the one that you need to build a bridge for here.
Yeah.
It might not be, but because we have already done one fort here, so it is still worth checking this. But I'm pretty confident in saying, yeah, it was the one with the bridge.
Okay, maybe. Glutamic trying to make heads or tails of this. Claris dealing with 2-3, which has Paragoomba and Angry Sun, causing all sorts of mischief here.
So I think... Oh, nice kill of it. I think Glutamic is doing the right choice here, because this one has to be played anyway. So, you know, in order to get to the pipe in the first place. So I think this is the right play, because if it doesn't make the bridge, it will break the lock that gets to the other fort anyway. So he won't have to go through the pipe transitions again.
I think Claris has to play that, because this is the exact same map setup that Glutamic has. So I think Glutamic made the correct choice. Yeah, they've got identical map. So that other fort is probably holding the lock.
Oh, nice.
First. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread it. Yeah, I forgot about the pipe. Yeah.
So basically, the first fort of the world broke the lock that you could see on the first screen, and then these ones here, Claris is gonna unfortunately play the wrong one here, but it's not too bad. It's easy enough to get back to. Nice earthquakes for Wendy here.
Right. So
yeah, it's a short fort too, so at the very least, it's not too punishing. Is that 5-hit earthquake Wendy I see here?
I think it was.
Nice one grab again.
32-44
really is
for Glutamic.
Nice. This really is a pro certified seed, right? Because you got the Earthquake Wendy coming in here now.
Yeah, I guess. But Claris is back.
Okay, not really too big of a deal. It's slight extra time going through the pipe instead of the screen transition and such, but really, like, it's splitting hairs at this point.
Right. Come to the Great Equalizer World 8. We've got a fort and a hand stage off the bat. He's going to play the fort. Air Force 5F2. Always a good idea. Always a good idea to get those forts out of the way on the opening screen, because you do not want to have to come back here if you can help it.
Yeah. Made a good job of it. It's not the greatest stage to have a tail in, because you can't really do the P-speed strats, but it's also not the most dangerous to have it in. I think that's one of the toughest stages to have a P-wing for, though, because it's hard to build momentum in that one.
So, Claris is going to use a P-wing here on the World 1 airship. Alright, so nothing was there, so no harm, no foul at this point. Glutamic's first pipe. He's tanks, a fort, and another pipe, and a lock. So, well, that is useless, so he's going to have to actually brave the hand stage at this point. Interesting map so far.
Great Wendy fight for Claris there. And gets the one grab as well, really good. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, and it's 8-1.
Oh, okay. I would have considered playing it, because you've got the tail going in.
Yeah, I think he's like, he really doesn't want to do this. I think he's going to roll the dice here. I think he's 0 for 2. If he does it again, I think he's going to have to play it. Yep.
It's understandable. I mean, I've done this as well in Seeds, but just because you've gone in with the power-ups, and it's like, I don't want to have to repeat here. Trying the good old RNG manipulation going on there. It doesn't actually work. But
lost 4 coin flips lost in a row. He's finally gets through, but you know, now he's got to hope that luck is more favorable on the other side. There's another lock.
So there's only one lock or bridge. And that's it. Wow.
Wow. What a break for glutamic acid. A 0-hand World 8. Oh
boy. So Claris does still have, I believe, the fire flowers. So there is that, but that's gonna be a tough one, because you got to go all the way around this first.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while for him to get there, figure this all out. Even if he gets perfect hand luck, it's still gonna put him behind the 8 ball. Glutamic hoped to get a fire flower, does not get it. He's gonna go bottom route and hope he gets one there. Claris fortunately gets caught. Is he gonna play it? Nope.
No, he doesn't have a tail going in, so I'm much more sort of in line, like reasonable for that.
Yeah.
2. Oh, speaking of 2, nice fireballs there. Yeah.
Ooh.
People say that bottom route is easier. I wholeheartedly disagree. Like, seriously.
It used to be easier, but that was before the patches were made to kind of balance them out a little bit. Claris finally gets through. Glutamix is going to sit under Bowser's hitbox and run this out. Claris has... Oh no! Actually picked the wrong pipe.
Yeah.
And, well, actually, no, he didn't. Never mind.
Well, dear.
That's some cruel irony.
Sure is, man.
Glutamix one jump away from victory, and there it is.
Fantastic.
Get out the GGs for Glutamic Acid, who's going to take game 1 of 3 in this opening round match.
We are already calling a free play, huh? Alright. First place, 37-25 SRL time. Nicely done.
Glutamic ran into some trouble with Atlantis, but he built up enough of a lead to where he was able to offset problems. And Claris, unfortunately, not able to overcome his kind of a slow start there. So an unfortunate loss for Claris, but easily could go the other way in game 2. Claris, the right setup with Bowser, so he's again.
Yeah, just gotta make sure you can get Bowser back down here.
There it is. So 35 fireballs does the trick. There. Oh, nice midair.
Whoa. Okay.
Now that's a nice bit of swag to finish it.
So is it possible to like soft lock the game from that? If he, like, I guess he'd need to hit him as soon as he starts jumping and get the kill, but
yeah, it could be. So finishes with an official SRL time of 38:41.
great stuff, honestly.
So Glutamic Acid up 1-0 here in this opening round matchup between the 16 and 17 seeds, head to head.
But you can see just how close it actually was. It was literally just a Bowser's Castle difference. So absolutely can go either way here. All it takes is one slip up either way, and suddenly, completely different game. So
sure. Yeah. So we're gonna get game 2 going in a couple of minutes here.
So definitely what I was anticipating coming out of this one. These two, as you say, 16, 17 seed, their average times for the group stages were incredibly close, so you would expect, this sort of close game to come up as well.
Yeah,
and
35-58 for Glutamic, 37-51 for Claris. That's basically a standard deviation. That has probably more to do with the seeds, per se, than their actual talent.
Yep. Absolutely.
Even as much as we try, I mean, seeds can give you some slight variances with time, and that can make things seem a little, I don't want to say misleading, but like getting a sub 30 is somewhat dependent on luck rather than skill.
Yep, I can agree with that. There are some very rare exception seeds that even sub 40 is practically impossible in. So, being able to get consistently below your sort of 35 to 36 range is definitely still very admirable. Just, even with everything these seeds can throw at you.
Oh. Yeah. So I think we only had, I think, 7. I have to check my records. I think we only had 7 sub-30s in this tournament in group play.
There weren't that many, no. It's tough. What can you say? It's
I
like
mean,
sub 50 in here, I guess, is roughly equivalent to like a sub 90 in Link to the Past Rando. It's not gonna happen all the time.
right. You had 2. Tapatio had 1. I had 1. Teak had the best out of anybody at like 2730. It is kind of a crapshoot in that respect.
I know both Tap and myself would say that we probably should have both had 1 extra 1 there as well if we played better. But yeah, even at that, it's like you've got to have the combination of the execution on the day plus the seed actually being nice enough to you as well. And because of the whole like not breaking locks stuff here, that second part doesn't happen very often at all for brackets here.
Can it? Sure, but it doesn't. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, so like the sub 35 mark is somewhere I normally look for when it comes to this stuff. But again, even that is still heavily seed dependent as well. But there are some seeds where you just get all of the long levels, like your 6-6, your 7-5,
Right.
your 5-3, and there's just nothing you can do about it. But even then, it's like, yeah, sub 35 I think is generally the like high-end goal, I think, for stuff here, but sub 40 is still absolutely like fantastic to have as well. So that's what we're seeing consistently when we get to the bracket stages here. We're seeing a lot of these hit the sub 40 mark, and it's fantastic to see.
All right, so we're gonna get going here in the next couple of minutes with game 2. Insofar as what our players are gonna do, Claris, I'm not sure. It's hard to say with him. I don't know how much he's gonna go for in game 2. If he's gonna roll the dice a little bit on some of his plays, or if he maybe stay within himself. I mean, I don't know him to be necessarily like a risk taker as far as his races are concerned, but with his back to the wall, he might decide to go for a few things he wouldn't ordinarily do.
Yeah, I think one of the main things, if he's gonna change anything, and I'm not convinced he will, but if he does, it might be to skip out on a couple of those optional hammer bro fights. There were 2 in particular. I think it was one in World 2 and then one in World 4, I think, where he actually went to the side out of the direction of the main pathway in order to get a couple of fights.
Yeah, that's 30. That's 30. And neither of them paid off. That's 30 seconds. So that's 30 extra seconds. So that doesn't necessarily give him a W, but it makes it a sub 1 minute margin all of a sudden.
Yep.
So
I do think he was also maybe a little bit more conservative with his items in general than Glutamate was. So we saw, Glutamate didn't have, well, Clouds aside, Glutamate didn't have any useful items left by the time Bowser came around. Like there was a Tanuki, a Frog, something like that. But there was, he had the opportunity to save 3 separate items for Bowser and chose none of them. One of them was the hammer suit at the start, so that's understandable. You pick up the Toad House to get an item to clear the stage. But the 2 Fire Flowers, one of those definitely could have been saved. There were other options at the time that he could have done. So not saving that and not being able to keep a Fire Flower otherwise, that in itself is a pretty big difference, potentially. So if Claris ends up keeping one of those behind again, and Glutamic isn't able to enter Bowser's Castle with one in tow. That's a decent time save in its own right.
Yeah. So our runners are getting ready here for game 2 of 3 here. Glutamic taking game 1 for those of you just joining us by a little over a minute, 37-25 to 38-41. So a very close race between our runners. Glutamic led pretty much the whole way, but some trouble in Atlantis in World 3 did give Claris a chance to close the gap, but a fairly generous World 8 quelled a potential comeback bid for Claris, and Glutamic was able to take game 1. So, chat, before we begin our race, what is our first world going to be in game 2? I will say 7 again.
Let's go the opposite way around then. We'll go with the regular world order this time around to start with World 1. World 9. Someday we may have a fully fledged World 9, who knows? Just put all the beta stages in there. Right, we have like Group 1 flags, and instead of going to World 8 first, we go World 9, and World 9 has all the beta stages. We have to play through all of those.
Still holding out hope we get a reverse world order 7-1. We've seen vanilla. We've seen a vanilla world order in Flags 2 already this tournament. Let's go for the other way.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. So Glutamic and Claris have been given the go ahead to begin their second match. They are off. We have World 2, and we've got two locks right away. One of which, well, we know where this one's going to lead.
Reroll. This level is horrible starting with. I mean, the star is hit and miss here. Honestly, it's good to get through this room, and then you've got to survive the rest of this place.
Well, the rest of it isn't that bad. So that's a pretty.
This is fine.
That's no big deal. So we got a drunk Hotfoot, but so we got runners in sync early here in Carpet Fort. Claris had some trouble early in game 1. Took a couple of deaths that kind of put him behind a bit. Glutamic too, but his I think weren't quite as costly as Claris.
Glutamic's winning by 100 points.
Yeah,
there had to be some difference between them after that first stage. As we get 3-3. This stage is really difficult to do P-speed strats on.
Yeah. Especially toward the end, it can be.
So it looks like Claris is going for the P-switch here in order to attempt the strat now.
His success has been kind of mixed with
There we go! Look at that! Right back in sync after the difference there. That's awesome. Only difference there, I guess, is that Claris had P-speed coming out of the pipe because of the previous room, and so was able to maintain it and get just that tiniest little edge back. Oh no! Oh wow! Okay.
7-1. Bane of everyone's existence.
Please don't accidentally head up here. There's no recourse if you do.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. Oh my goodness! Wow, Claris gets an immediately next shot after pulling back a little bit further just to get that little bit extra speed going in. Awesome stuff. Wow.
So looks like the pipes are right on top of each other. Oh, wow. Claris is going to play the Hammer Bros. So is Glutamic.
Okay, this one I actually do agree with. We've got no items in the back for one, and we have plenty of levels where there's the potential for, like, plenty of worlds, sorry, where potential hammer or something could still come into play. World 6 especially, so...
Let's see what Claris decides to do with that second Hammer Bros. He's right there. He is going to go for it.
Gonna take the shot on it. It's not too bad. He's got a good layout for it, so... It's the World 2 airship coming up here. Nice fly over here. Oh, there we go.
We got a vanilla World 2 airship. Claris getting a cloud there. So he's got a potential out if he finds a nasty stage. And we got a thick Morton. We got tough Morton steak today.
Ooh, 5 earthquakes. That's pretty beefy. He was pretty solid in both seeds, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Claris, you got to keep him on. You got to keep him the middle, generally speaking.
Very acrobatic there at the start to make sure that nothing went bad. Excellent fight.
So 18-second difference of that hammer, bro, basically. But
yeah.
Claris did get an extra did get his cloud out of this, so that could be useful for Claris going forward, and Glutamic getting a music box. We got World 6 with the 2 pipes and a fort and a 10. So all very
okay.
Well, not that okay. It's not that generous, but it's pretty generous.
It's a maximum of 2 forts because there've been 2 10 cards shown up here, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So this is interesting. Like, which way around do you go? I think you take the guaranteed fort first here. The one that you know where it is.
Especially since we can't see. Well, Claris is going to run with that gamble. Glutamic is kind of paralyzed by. Oh boy!
Wow. Okay. Hello, 6-6.
Fortunately, that cloud, if Claris were actually to do this, to go the same route, would not have 0 value because you'd have to play it anyways, unless you got another cloud from the hammer, bro.
Man, the biggest of buffers going up there. 3 big buffers in the same area. That's definitely handy. You want that fire flower here.
Yeah, it really allows you to just barrel through a lot of this.
How did he not get hit there? That went straight through him.
Yeah, Claris finding out that there is no fort here, so he's going to have to play 6-6, so he played an extra level, sadly, needlessly.
He did at least get a fire flower out of said level, though, so...
True. So yeah, so this will be a little quicker for him overall, because he can barrel through this, take care of the enemy sets. 6-9, 6-8, chooses 6-9, gets the second hand stage.
Cool. The one that we didn't see last time. That's good. Of course, it's a new random reward here, and it is Tanuki. That's not bad. Tanuki's actually pretty cool for 6. Oh wow, coin share, nice. Tanuki's actually pretty cool for 6-9 because you can use the statue to quickly descend in the water, change your elevation compared to bloopers and such.
Right. Unfortunately, because he had his digit and his coin count ended at the same, his 10th column and the coin count were the same. He gets a coin ship. But he does get a hammer out of the deal, so it's a 1-fort World 6.
And once again, Claris has chosen the other level here. It gets the same pipe beta stage as last run.
Right. So we have 3F1 acting as a gatekeeper today, World 6. Glutamic is a little bit ahead here. He's a hammer bro and a fort ahead.
Right. But it's not too bad. Honestly, this is still very possible to keep up with.
It's negligible at best. Claris gets hammers who play the fort now.
And luckily, 3F1 is actually quite a quick fort as well, so this shouldn't take too much effort. Hey, Vanilla World 6 airship. Huh.
Two vanilla forts in a row. Claris is going to check the item here and gets a star, so we get a star kill on Boom Boom. That's
not bad. That kind of makes up for the time loss of taking the damage and checking that item in the first place.
Yeah. So, Glutamic also with a star, unfortunately will not make Lemmy go faster. Lemmy took 5 the last time. Is he getting a repeat here? Nope, just 4.
Okay.
739 for Glutamic Acid through 2 worlds. Claris is going to be about 40 seconds behind, although he's going to get a little bit of a boost here using that P-Wing lucky guess on his part, but it's a validated one.
Viewing is useful on quite a lot of the airships. I think there's only maybe 2 that you don't really want to see it on. That being like World 7 and maybe World 4. Like it's okay for World 4, but it's not the optimal choice.
World 3 isn't great either because of the mast middle kind of throwing you off.
I guess you can at least fly over it, so it looks kind of cool. But yeah, oh, nice grab for Claris there too.
That's a nice 4-second save. And ooh, we got a nice setup here for a quick World 7, but locked. Okay, well, 7-4 is on.
We need to do at least 2 forts, I imagine, because we're going to need to break the lock in front of the other fort, so we can use that one to break the end.
That's usually how this works. Glutamic acid trying to find his the way forward is not having much luck so far.
Welcome to Pipe Maze, everyone.
Yep. I think Stewie Cartman's got it right. Well.
So we know where we're going now. We've got this fort to do, and then I think it's one of the early pipes that was checked in order to go back to the South Island. South Island has a stage, and then it's like, I guess you have to do stage 5 as well. So like stage 5, stage 8, fort, and that's the progression to finish this world off.
Right. Claris is kind of learning his way around too. He's actually going back to check out the other pipe.
Yeah, I think he's just realized, oh wait, there's a pipe here, I should check that.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's a strategy with it, when you've got so many pipes in the same area, it's often easy to forget which pipes you've even checked in the first place. So I have seen some players actually go ahead and, even when there's a pathway forward where they get to, they'll just go back immediately first so they can check all the pipes off in this one bit here. Because with 5 of them there, and all sorts of different spots on it, it's very easy to just forget where you've even gone. So
glutamic acid is 5-4. Claris actually did play the piranha stage. Glutamic skipped it with a music box and and Claris got another music box as a reward.
Okay, so he'll be able to skip the last one then.
Chooses to, yeah. So 5-4 done for Glutamic with a late appearing boss bass.
Yeah, the boss bass I think is usually okay there. It's if it's an angry sun, especially, you've got to be really careful about the last platform despawning.
That's happened to me a couple of times. 7-7 for Glutamic. We'll see if he goes for a 2-star or 3-star run here. He's a pretty skilled player, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the 2. How bold he's feeling.
Now, when it comes... oh dear, that's not going to be a 2-star.
Nope.
When it comes to that 5-4, though, if Claris, I think, should be going in with his current power-ups, he's going to have to be careful if he decides to do a flyover at the start, because the boss bass can kind of spawn in the sky and eat you out of that. I'm pretty sure I have a highlight of that somewhere. He's not doing it, though, so that's fine. But yeah, the bass will actually just spawn where you are, and so you can just be him merrily flying along, no harm's done, and then suddenly chomp out of the sky.
Super Tanks is the second fort of World 7.
That's not too bad.
A lot of late forts so far in the early proceedings here. In terms of time, our runners are about on the same pace as they were in 1. Glutamic was through 3 worlds at 13:47.
Yeah, could easily still do the same. Ooh. Okay, interesting. I think that's actually like better to have lost a tail here, but I don't think Claris actually wanted to, and that star ain't hanging around for no one.
Claris does recover, and I think he's going for 2 cycle here.
Ew, 7-4, yo.
I don't think he can now take a 3rd pit stop. 7-4, yeah, for Glutamic. A fairly long stage, takes about 35-40 seconds finished at full speed.
Yeah, and you're never going to be at full speed on this one because RNG decides, not just in terms of the randomized enemies, but the spike cheats are random in this one as well. So even though there's no auto scroll and it's so much easier than the that happens, you know, all the time. It's so annoying.
To chat's question, glutamic acid is currently leading by about 2 stages right now. About a stage and a half, we'll say.
Yeah,
Over Claris. One advantage Claris does have, again, Cloud. And he could actually do a double here in Cloud 7-4 and use the music box on the Piranha.
Yep, and if he does cloud that, I don't think he will, but if he does cloud that stage, then no, 7-4 is a fantastic target for Cloud, to be honest.
He's going to do it. He's doing it.
He is going to do it, alright. Good show. And another for the... Are you sure this is randomized, bro?
Certainly not the airship.
Okay, so that cloud that Glutamic did not pick up because he didn't fight the Hammer Bro in World 2, that's where it comes back in, and suddenly things are a lot closer.
Yeah. Yeah, correct, Chad. He cannot die here, or that's a 1-minute time loss. So yeah, he's probably going to play World 7 a little safer, but luckily a one-hit Ludwig will help with that. So a 14:07 for Glutamic.
He went for it anyway. Wow. Balls of steel right there. He just... Ludwig is much more aggressive than a lot of the Koopalings. He will usually respond, and he tried to, but he'll usually respond with an early jump if you try and do that. So, yeah, very brave for Claris there to just go for it, and it's like, hey, he's not gonna hit me. What's, you know... I suppose if he did, though, it wouldn't have even been that bad, because, yeah, he would have taken damage, but the jump would have been committed at that point. Ooh, this is the World 1 that I like to see.
Yeah, it's got 2 forts, and the pathway, they're going to have to play both forts anyways. Though it's possible one of them to be one fort. Both of them are Raccoon Mario right now. Let's see if they can hold on to that. There really is no disincentive to not go for the item. So
yeah, it's both faster and the only way it would harm you if you game over. So, and there it is.
Yep.
So this would have messed me up because I would have lost my tail to do P-speed strats in the previous stage. So I would have not had it to go in here. So, you know.
Glutamic goes for the item. Claris having a little trouble with his P-speed.
Might not go for it now.
Oh, he's going to go for it.
Okay.
Nah. Oh, he's not doing it. I didn't see what the item was. What was it?
It was a Tanuki.
Oh.
So not the worst, but still a nice one to have around. What is the worst, however, is this one. Okay, it's not strictly the worst fort, but you know, a lot of people do think it. The World 6 forts on average are worse for me, but still.
Logic, remark in chat, Logic assumes you always go for the item so it can't soft lock you.
Once again, a fantastic one cycle for Glutamic there. It's been showing that off very well in these 2 seeds so far.
Claris time with the disco waffles. Almost got flipped there. Claris is about a stage by Glutamic 6-9. Go for the clip, yes. Couple of swings. Ooh, almost.
Oh wow, he actually could have had it there, I think.
It's like he almost had it. Claris turned around, so he's not going to be able to one-cycle this.
Yeah. Oh, nasty hit there too. Yeah, I think Glutamic actually could have had it because he had that little stall, which is usually indicative that you hit the pixel and never fit, and I guess it's some pixel when you're big, but just mistimed a jump. It is frame perfect, right? So
it is frame perfect. Nice star kill by Claris on Boom Boom.
Yeah, so he did the more, I guess, recent adaptation of stuff there. If you're big and you see the star is there, then you can delay the P-switch in order to make sure that you grab the star just before the P-switch runs out, and then you do have enough time to slide under with the momentum that the conveyor gives you, so that you can reach it even when big. You just have to take more time doing it, so I haven't timed it out yet to see if it's worth it, but could well be.
I was hoping to get, I think, a fire flower, did not get it.
Yeah, so we had to dodge the star there because you can't enter vertical pipes upwards when you have a star and you're big, because you do the little spinny jump.
Right, unless you're at P speed, you can't do it.
Right, which is just not happening in that stage.
No. Ludwig with a treasure trove of items, including a couple of anchors, wildcard item. We don't know what it is. Star Ludwig.
So if I was Glutamic here, I'd be the next time that I'm in a linear part of a world and I want to power up, I'd be seeing what one of those anchors is, because they can be clouds, poison clouds because they're green, but still they can be clouds and they will still act like regular ones as well. And you do not want to be leaving anchor clouds on the table, just like regular ones. You just don't know that they're clouds until you use it.
Streak of vanilla forts is vanilla airships is over at 3 World 5 airships, so 1856 for Glutamic.
Still very respectable here.
Yeah, about where he was at this stage last race. So we still have worlds 3. We have the middle ones, 3, 4, and 5 still to go.
Claris actually doing a pretty good job with the P-speed there. It's not as useful with a tail getting P-speed in that part because you don't have enough of a runway to actually gain speed whilst you're moving. Because the thing with flying is that it slows you down towards walking speed when you actually are in the air. But if you just immediately jump after getting P-speed, you don't have the forward momentum to avoid that. So you're just going to end up starting at walking speed, and it's really slow compared to a normal jump.
So Glutamic found has got the tan-colored fort right up front, so he is going to play it because tan-colored fort will create the bridge. There's a blue-colored fort in 5-3's location, also a lock there. So nothing else, Glutamic is going to check the pipe first, and if it's a paradox pipe, he may take intentional death there, takes 100 fine, just to get a look at the sky map. See if it's actually required.
So in this no, there's actually no other way for him to get up in the first place.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I guess I understand the point. It could be a free fall World 5. That's what I was thinking of suggesting. It's not, so we're fine. Yeah, I guess Spiral Tower is pretty slow, so you probably don't play it here, even with the bro in the way. Yeah, but there is a way that a tan fort in World 5 can break a lock now, and that's if it's a free fort World 5. Because there's no double blue fort, it goes to another tan one. Oh, same again here, 7-8.
7-8, so you almost think, man, Spiral Tower actually faster and certainly safer. And it's probably negligible at best. It's a long stage, but Claris here business with the Hammer Bro.
And gets repowered too, that's good. Nice somersault with the starter. Oh, just the extra lives, don't need that. Although it does create a cool graphical glitch, which I always found funny.
Claris, he's actually gonna go for it. And honestly, given what we just saw, I'm not gonna disagree with him on that. But he's got to hustle.
It's also avoiding playing the Hammer Bro, right? Which, again, that was one of the adaptations I said he might do, is he might... Oh, wow, how did he get hit there?
Well, he did... That's generally true, but he also played an extra Hammer Bro on the ground, so...
fair.
I'm not sure he really gained anything off of that. Glutamic taking care of 4-1. So he's on his way to
scaring me with some of these jumps.
Yeah, he's the Nookie suit for the World 4 airship.
Yeah, if you're not going to be able to if you're not going to get a chance to do P-Speed strats, having a tail is the next best option here, because it's real easy to float over there.
Anchors are hammer suits.
Whoa, okay. Oh, Roy, please. Roy is usually one of the less aggressive ones when it comes to jumping at the start, so it's always annoying when he actually does decide to jump like that immediately and just go straight for you. Nice snipe there for Claris. I
So
like it.
22:43 for glutamic acid. Claris is about a stage behind right now. He's going to be about 40 seconds behind, give or take. P-speed here.
Yeah, he does get an opportunity to use it. See if he can maintain it the whole way through.
Seen him practice it
Yep.
in his
Good
practice.
stuff. And
Not sure
that
why he
actually
did.
will have saved time over what Glunamate did. Really?
Double bridge in World 4, so this is interesting. 23:32.
Okay, so fort time. Which one do you think you play first here?
I'm not really sure. I probably would have gone for the 1 and 4 one myself, but
yeah,
because there is no bridge. Although I actually kind of see where Glutamic's coming from, because he does a screen scroll just to see what it looks like after he's done with this one, 4F2. So
yeah.
I can actually see that. That's a little bit of lateral thinking there, but it worked.
So it was actually a trick question because you do both forts because the pipe on the other side is bridge locked. So you actually just do both forts. You play 2 stages total, and you go through the other pipe in order to get to the end. I actually missed that the first time through. I'll be honest. It was more just thinking it was just thinking the way through of going. Well, do you do like the reason I would have done the 1-4-1 first is because the hammer bro was in the way. So oh wow, well, jeez, okay, that is something I can't do. Well done, Glutamic.
So Glutamic actually putting some P-speed strats to use. Good use there in 4F1. Both got 2 vanilla forts incidentally. World 4 forts in World 4. Fixed.
That's fascinating to me because he went bottom route last time round when we saw 4F1 in seed number 1. So him actually having the capability of that and yet still going bottom route last time is interesting.
Yes, Polaris is gonna take 4F1 Glutamix into the World 3 airship. Holding on to his lead right now. As it was in Game 1, he's led pretty much the whole way.
Neither of them have really made mistakes, have they?
Not really mistakes. I think Claris just his movement hasn't been quite as crisp as Glutamix. He's going to need a pretty big unforced error at this point, I think, to really get him back into this. Or hope for a really wonky World 3 with a 50-50 gamble.
I mean, Claris, if I remember in the Siege rightly, I think Claris in the first world actually did end up doing an extra fort at the beginning. If this was the one that was a World 3 lead, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so he did an extra level, extra fort and stuff there. So that's most of the difference here right now, to be honest. Oh no, never mind.
We've got 3 pipes right up front. Double hammer play could come in here. Depends on what this looks like. These 4 pipes take him, and we got a double hammer play.
Immediately was sort of on that suspicion. Oh, he's got a cloud he can't use as well. I wonder where that even came from at this point.
He got it off the hammer bro in World 4.
Right. Okay. That's right. Yeah, because he played it. Yeah. Yeah, I was sort of. I immediately get suspicious of pipes that are blocked behind locks in this world. Doesn't always pay out.
Oh, it's a god. It's a God World 3 glutamic acid in the driver's seat here. Well on his way to World 8. Claris, see how he plays this. I don't know what his hammer count is like. Should be identical or close.
And this is devastating if you can't pull the same trick off here.
Right.
Excellent one grab as well.
27-21 for Glutamic. Okay, there's one confirmed with 1 forward. Claris doesn't have that hammer, he is staring down a nightmare. Don't think he has it. Don't think so. He knows that maneuver pretty well. He gets the World 2 for it. The Great Equalizer awaits, but this is pretty bad for Claris because even if he does this, it's still going to put him behind.
Ooh, stage.
Third hand stage, he's saying no thank you.
Doesn't need another Tanuki.
Crazy, but
yeah, it's not on the worst level to play there, but even so, when you don't need to, it's not in the way of anything. There's no reason to play it. Oh, this is like the worst one to have a frog in. He's keeping it too.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I would potential hit right away. 6F2. Huh? So Claris.
Oh, okay, good. He didn't go for it. Yeah, Claris doesn't have the hammers. Just in again.
That's actually a Fred. That's 3-2 in 3-2.
Huh. Yeah, so it is. This is one of the few stages where, like, unless you can do P-speed strat to the stuff here, a tail is objectively better to come in with because you can much more easily bounce off the cheap-cheeps with that.
Hammer, so that fort took care of a lock by this pipe. It's normally 8 fortification. Claris play 3 extra levels here. There's another fort, 8 fort. Gonna play it as Air Force. It's a good idea. If it doesn't break the lock right next to it, that's valuable intelligence. That means it ends up breaking something else somewhere, especially if it's not visible on the screen. I like this play by Glutamic.
I do as well. And I mean, if it does break the one right next to you, then you can keep going in that direction and see what's down there. So it's good either way. Meanwhile, yeah, nice 1-1 clear there. It does have a cloud at least to skip the 7 cards, so there's only... Well, it's a total of 3 extra stages that were done there. That is, in this sort of tight margin race, that is quite devastating. Yeah. But at the very least, it could have been a little bit worse. Those stages could have been worse than they were. Ooh.
So there's a hand. There's a lock there. So good news is there's 8-2. So clouds are completely useless here. Claire's grabbing the 1 to 30-16. So he has got to hurry.
It's another fantastic Wendy fight there too. 4 hits, no earthquakes this time.
We got pipes. We got navy, and we've got tank. There's tank.
So how many locks have we unchecked here? Is it just that one that we have that we don't?
3 locks have been confirmed.
Okay.
Probably there's got to be a bridge then. Yep,
yeah,
there it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just the goal. If you haven't cleared all the forts beforehand, the main goal is to count the number of locks that you have in play and compare it to how many forts you've done. You can work out how many bridges there are to build potentially, and that can inform how many forts you play still. So if you need to do 1, but
Claris is playing tank, which was 10 stage. Glutamic has got 2 forts, and finale is with an easy reach. There it is. He's got it.
Nice. Maybe
Claris
Here we
is guessed
go.
correct. Claris is guessed correct.
Oh no.
Oh
no. You just play this. It's not that difficult a level. It saves any potential mishaps here. This is one of the quicker ones you could get. Still gotta be careful, but...
Cheap is the final boss of Mario 3 Rando, after all.
Well done, Glutamic.
Glutamic is on his way to a 2-0 sweep, but Claris gets correctly, now. Does not. Oh.
There it is. Yep, he's got it.
Glutamic is handsomely rewarded. Claris finds Fort Knox, but he has a tail, so this makes it a pretty quick one.
Better than nothing.
Now, I gotta check my notes here. We have not seen Piranha Fort all day.
Nope. Which I'm a little bit disappointed on, but oh well.
Yeah, this is supposed to be my seeds. We've seen nothing but Piranhaphores. I rolled both of these. Glutamic going for the flip.
He's lost P-Speed, so yeah.
Claris is going, unfortunately, the wrong direction here.
It's not impossible. Oh my goodness, what is that?
Claris finds hand 5-8, and thank you. No hammer kill for Glutamic, unfortunately, but he is well on his way to scoring a 2-0 victory, moving on to round 2 of the tournament.
Yeah,
Claris is coming to the same conclusion, but he's doing it almost the reverse that Glutamic did.
Yeah, so Claris has done 2 forts here and has seen 2 locks, so is like, I need to just find the end here.
Just did. There it is.
Also gets grabbed by the quicksand as Glutamic has finished the T-pose. Hey, Claris is actually not going to play this stage. Interesting.
Get out the GGs for Glutamic Acid, who is finished with a wins with 2-0, and will be moving on to round 2. Take on my co-commentator, GamerCal, with an official SRL time of 34 minutes even.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna have my hands full with this one, aren't I?
Yeah, well, Claris was trying to go for us. Swag there did not get it. Now as see the small Mario disco waffle staircase. Ooh.
Yeah, it's real easy because nobody's used to doing that part in that way, right?
No,
and this is not playing. Hand is gonna mess up as well. Nobody's used to playing it that way, so knowing where to sit is actually really difficult.
Try again. Got another key suit. Try and get Glutamic Acid in here for an interview. Taking his wisdom regarding today's matches. But yeah, he led wire to wire pretty much the whole way through, but Claris remained a persistent adversary and kept it close for most of the way.
Yeah, there were very few deaths in this second set for sure, which really helped.
In this one, it was the double hammer. That's what did it. Because they were about a minute apart going into World 8 into World 3, and that was the decider right there. It was double hammer.
The advantage of having a tail, being able to go over those double fireballs there.
Claris take on Bowser. Gone home.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah, so it's easier to just take the hit when you're big here. Yeah. Like you can avoid, it's just like why? Because you might just get fireballed anyway.
We welcome to the chat our winner of today's best free Glutamic Acid, GG.
GG guys, GG.
Oh, that second race, man, it was. I'll put it to you in 2 words: double hammer.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
You had it. He did. You had it. He didn't.
Oh, okay. Did I get it from like an extra? Did I play like an extra Hammer Brother, or was there like?
You must have. Yeah.
Yeah. We had all the hammers to spare.
Just a slight interjection. Claris has finished in second here. 36:45 is the end time here. GG to Claris as well.
Yeah, but yeah, double hammer is what swung it in game 2.
Yeah, that made World 3 very free. We had World 3 was the last world in the first seed as well. We both had, I think we both had loads of hammers.
Yeah, unfortunately, the double hammer did not work in game 1, or had no valid reason for it. This time it did. And we welcome clarisdatcom Chad. Well, GG.
GG, guys.
G.
We were just discussing game 2. It came down to 2 words: double hammer.
Well, I mean, yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
I didn't see as many Hammer Bros as I would have liked to have seen in Seed 2, but hey, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, and for a while you were actually holding an added advantage in early on because you had an extra cloud. And you put that to good use in World 7 because you ended up skipping 7-4 and the Piranha stage. So you saved about a minute right there, and you turned like a 1-minute deficit to about 5 seconds.
Hey, that's nice. I mean, the 2 routes, both sides were equidistant, so it was really just pick one and go, and I was okay with that.
And it was interesting with World 8 in Game 2 because both of you came to the same conclusion. You took the exact opposite routes to get there. I thought that was actually quite interesting. That's the way it ended up happening. But Glutamic figured it out just a little bit faster than you, and yeah, it ended up being a pretty free World 8 if you had just played Navy. Who knew?
Yeah.
Indeed.
How often does that
The
happen?
anchor was the hammer suit even.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
I lost it.
I used it early. Looking at it.
Yeah. I think you were hoping for like a cloud or something, and it's like, nope, it's a hammer suit.
It's something I did make a mention of. It's like, because there is that chance that the anchor can be a cloud. It's like if you get to a linear spot in the world and you need to power up again, you look at that anchor first and you see what it is, because you may just be able to skip the level that you need to do.
Yeah. Game 1, it almost completely swung on Atlantis.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, Glutamic died twice, fairly late both times in Atlantis. That gave you, Claris, a chance to kind of close the gap a bit. Moves. Unfortunately, Double Hammer really didn't pay off in World 3, and it actually was probably beneficial to play Atlantis anyways because the fort right next to it ended up, I believe, being.
No, actually, that was the dead fort.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, Double Hammer was actually better to do because the fort on the far right built the bridge.
Right.
Broke the lock to the other fort, which was the good fort to build the bridge to get out.
Right. You're right. I got my. I'm getting my games mixed up again. It's like it's hard. It's hard when World 3 is last both times.
Yeah.
But,
so I thought you'd already played World 3 by the time you got to it as the last one because of that. So Daping, I was like, oh, because I think that was the one that you went through the pipe and did the fort below said pipe on the far right of the world, Claris, in Seed 1. I thought that was in Seed 2, and that was like the one reason that the time difference is there. It's like, nope, not this time.
Well, but no, 2 very, very good matches. Alas, Claris, third straight year in the brackets. Pretty cool.
Hey, yeah. This time I didn't. I just didn't totally eat it. I mean, if you want to go out, on your sword. You want to put in 2 or 3 good races. Have no regrets. The better person won. Good luck with Cal. He is the business.
I made it.
He is the business. I've already played him twice. I know how it is. So keep grinding. You have a chance.
That's your door prize, unfortunately, as you get the top seed in the tournament. But we've already seen some pretty wild matches. Seen a couple of upsets so far, or seen some fairly unexpected results, if nothing else. So,
I still say I'm going to have my hands full here. So,
well, it would be a bracket match if you didn't. I mean, at this point, it's all going to come down to execution and a little bit of luck. I mean, that's the nature of the beast.
And hey, if I'm correct in assumptions here, it's going to be the one and only Great British Battle that we could have in this thing, right? Because
yeah, I think it might be.
It is. We are literally the only two people from the UK that are in this thing. So the odds of that,
And
scheduling easy.
and only I think Ibuba's the only other non-US / Canada player.
I think Prior is in France, right?
You're right.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. So this is a largely US Canada audience, but we do have some players beyond that. And if Fonz had joined, that would have been another European player from Spain. So good
The
luck
more
to
we
you
can
guys.
spread the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the fish and chips ready for the round of 16 match.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So, any final thoughts, guys?
I'm just looking forward to watching the restream. Thanks guys for commentating and thanks for hosting.
Big thanks to SpeedGaming for having us, as always. A lot of thanks to you, Proa, and of course Cobra for organizing this mess for another year. This is one of the highlights of the year, and this field is stacked. You guys want to watch the rest of this? You will be amazed.
Yes, absolutely. And in that spirit, we have 4 matches on the books right now. Our final round 1 match is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Gimp Extreme versus Dark Shadows 59 would be a very interesting match. Could easily go to 3 in that one. And then starting Monday, we begin round 2 play. On Monday at 8 Eastern, we have me, Pro-A007, taking on our young upstart, Dustman, the 20 seed, in a round 2 match. And then Tuesday at 7 Eastern, we have Yo BGS taking on Paradox 64, in what should be a very entertaining match. BGS, a 5-1 player, taking on a Paradox who went undefeated. Been a formidable player throughout. So that'll be good. And then a week from today, March 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Human Mustard versus our defending champion, Macobra 52.
Ooh.
And then we've got to squeeze in there at some point as well. So
Absolutely, yes. We have 8 second round matches to get through in the next week. 3 of them are on, and the other 5 should be coming up very soon. But we got some really good matches. We got Teeks and Haxor playing. That's been confirmed.
I'm so looking forward to that game.
Yeah, a couple of Warpless Warpless and Hundo Titans going head to head. Classic is going to take on Mitch.
That's fire.
The only 2 players who have medaled in both tournaments. Classic was 3rd in 18 and 2nd last year, and Mitch was the reverse, 2nd in 18, 3rd in 19. So one of them is going home early. So keep an eye out for that. Remember who else still. Take a look real quick. I know we got a few other confirmed. So we got Tapatio J is going to take on DLP 316. So that's going to be an interesting match. DLP, again, one of those players. His record is better than his play is better than his record indicates. So I think he's going to give Tapatio all he can handle.
He has some good P-speed strats in auto-scroller stages that I have no idea about right now, or would not want to do in a race setting. So he's a very good player.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, our next race is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Gimp Extreme Dark Shadows 59. Keep an eye out for that. And Thanks again to SpeedGaming, and thanks again to GamerCal for joining me here. So we'll see you all tomorrow for more Mario 3 Randomizer Tournament action. Have a good day.
Take care, everyone.